This afternoon, Toronto coming in at -6. Look at Halifax, -10. And mild air in place this afternoon for Newfoundland for St. John's, but it'll cool right down into tomorrow. Calgary, -11. How about we escape these dismal temperatures and go to Nassau? It's getting up to 28 degrees on Wednesday. There will be some cloud cover, but if you're headed towards Freeport, also some cloud cover, getting up to 27 degrees. Georgetown has lots of sunshine on Wednesday, 25 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. Enjoy. Glad you could join us. Meteorologist Nicole Karkic with you. Impressive storm stats in the east. One of our top headlines. More snow is expected for Ontario, and a state of emergency has been declared in St. John's. So again, it's a 24-hour-a-day, week-long parking ban on all streets south of Union Street with over 90 centimeters on the ground. They need to take care of it, take care of you in the city to make sure you can get around. St. John, Monday, just takes us Monday through to Tuesday, 30 centimeters. Moncton, 43. Charlottetown, 57, but within the last week, you've seen 107 centimeters of snow. The strong winds, of course, blowing things around. We've got those northerly winds across Nova Scotia, as well as New Brunswick, Cape Breton Island, too. And we've seen some rain in the last few hours, which is going to just completely change over to cold air in place. So some flash freeze warnings, lingering snow in Newfoundland for today, extreme cold warnings in places like Labrador City. So a lot going on. A break until Wednesday afternoon when an Alberta clipper comes through very quickly. It's not a big snow story, but we really don't need any more. So this is the rain in the green, just indicative of the mild air in place. Starting to see that change over with the pink as well as the blues across New Brunswick. So this is going to lend way for the roads to be very slick. Cape Breton Island as well as Nova Scotia. And our snowstorm highlights, this is February 2nd to 3rd, 47 centimeters so far in Charlottetown. February average is 58. So in the month, of course, not even done. Let's take you next to this video right here. And throughout the show, he'll have updates on the latest through the town. We are looking at Ontario right here, Sunday into Monday morning. Toronto, 22 centimeters of snow. It was a snow day, of course, across southern Ontario yesterday. Back up and running for today with a lot of those streets already cleared. Westerly winds giving some lake enhancement, sunshine until tomorrow afternoon. Across New Brunswick, as well as for PEI, we have some snow and some flash freeze warnings in place across Nova Scotia and Cape Breton Island. Now, what a week of snow. For St. John, New Brunswick, since last Tuesday, we've seen 50 centimeters. Last Wednesday, we picked up 9. Friday and Saturday, 38. So the total for the week, 117 centimeters of snow. So the state of emergency that has been declared is no joke. You need to take your car off the main street so they can plow it and get everyone safe. As we look at the radar returns, really mild in Sydney, 9 degrees right now, but we're going to see a drop in temperatures through the day to about -14 by the evening. So the flash freeze there evident. For New Brunswick, staying as snow as well as mainly across PEI, but you can see the sharp temperature contrast as the purples invade Nova Scotia as well as portions of southern Newfoundland. So you can see here we're getting rid of all those yellows, really not for this morning, but by the afternoon and then really quickly through tomorrow. So that's going to be the problems. Flash freeze warnings are also in place for portions of Newfoundland. So do be careful on the roads. You just can't see that black ice. And in the deep chill for Wednesday into Thursday. This morning, Halifax feeling like -26. St. John is +1, feeling like -7. So look at that milder air here in place, but it will be quickly, sharply changing by the afternoon. It is -10 in Sydney. St. John still mild at 6 degrees, but you'll feel that cool down, especially into the night and for tomorrow morning. For Quebec, your story is wind chills as well. Montreal -22, feeling closer to -30. The snow clearing out for you, and we're looking at a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Gatineau will be -9. And temperature stories for you for southern Ontario is that remaining in the cold air until we head into tomorrow, and then we get a slight warm up that gets us closer to average in terms of our temperatures around. But there were a lot of school closures, a lot of people stayed off the roads, so it was good to see. This afternoon with the kids back in school, daytime high will be -6 in Toronto, feeling closer to -14, and we will see generally some sunshine through Ontario. Ottawa will be -9 with wind chill in -16. This afternoon, taking you to the north, Thunder Bay -13, also some sunshine in place for you, but boy oh boy, those numbers were huge. Hamilton, 40 centimeters of snow for you Sunday into Monday. Kitchener came in at 30. So it was quite a snow day. Taking you next to slippery road conditions. So no one hurt, but that's always just a sign that you do need to take it a little bit slower because you never know what's going to happen to that car when you try and stop. A system coming through tonight into tomorrow morning will drop a general 5 to 10 centimeters of snow for Toronto, likely closer to that 5-centimeter range, and extend to Ottawa as well.
Back then, that historic snowstorm.
Yes,
oh, yes,
1992, a big one you were talking about.
161 centimeters over about 54 hours.
Holy moly.
Yes.
So,
right.
A lot of snow coming through again, really through Newfoundland this morning.
Yes.
Moving out of the Maritime provinces at least, but we've got problems potentially with some flash freeze across Nova Scotia.
5 a.m. this morning, Atlantic time, Sydney, 8 degrees and 107 kilometer-an-hour winds. That 8 degrees is going to plummet, and we've seen that in Halifax, where it's -10, -12.
Exactly.
So that means roads are going to get, and sidewalks are going to get very, very icy.
Yeah, it clears out, but then right behind it, a little clipper, quick mover, dropping about a general 5 to 10 centimeters through the Maritime provinces. But we still have this bulk of the heavy snow to go in Newfoundland. Western shores seeing 15 to 35 centimeters up through the northern peninsula.
Gander, Grand Falls, Windsor, and West, flash freeze warnings. We have wind warnings. We have winter storm warnings. Oh, my goodness. So it's a rough day. I think a snow day for a lot of Atlantic Canadians, I'm sure.
That's right, and the additional snowfall. This takes us right through the end of the day on Wednesday, so the two storms combined. As we move to this image right here, Chris, oh boy.
Yeah, let's take a look at recap some totals there. In Hamilton, congratulations, you're the big winner. 40 centimeters, Windsor close behind. Silver medal, 37.
Yeah, exactly. So kids back in school today. We do have a little bit of lake enhancement with those westerly winds. And then tomorrow, Chris, another system moving through fairly quickly. It's an Alberta clipper. And it will bring us a general 5 to 10 centimeters. So as you can see here, that includes Toronto up towards cottage country.
All right, state of emergency in St. John, New Brunswick. Nathan Coleman will fill us in.
This afternoon, Toronto coming in at -6. Look at Halifax, -10. And a mild air in place this afternoon for Newfoundland for St. John's, but it'll cool right down into tomorrow. Calgary, -11. How about we escape these dismal temperatures and go to Nassau? It's getting up to 28 degrees on Wednesday. There will be some cloud cover, but if you're headed towards Freeport, also some cloud cover, getting up to 27 degrees. Georgetown has lots of sunshine on Wednesday, 25 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. Enjoy. Our Storm Watch coverage does continue. Glad you could join us. Meteorologist Nicole Karkic with you, and we've brought along a bunch of me. All right, as we look at the radar maps here, producer got everything up and running here. We've got some snow, blizzard warnings still blanketing parts of New Brunswick with strong winds gusting between 60 to 80 kilometers an hour. Look at that pink starting to change over around Truro. We're seeing flash freeze warnings across Nova Scotia, including Halifax. And the green is the rain, mild enough that Sydney is sitting at 9 degrees. The hot spot in the entire country is Sable Island at 13 degrees. That's plus 13, but then you're going to quickly drop off in temperatures. So that is going to mean trouble on the roads. Look at this right here. These are the warnings still in place. So extreme cold goes up into Ile-de-Madeleine as well as the Gaspé Peninsula, feeling closer to the -30s, -40s today, just in the morning. And then we've got winter storm warnings here. PEI, Moncton still included, as well as extreme cold warnings and looking at blizzard warnings as well here. Truro is included, and a rainfall warning for Sydney, Nova Scotia, where we could see 25 to 40 millimeters through the morning, and then it does taper off. Wind warnings as well. St. John's is included. Gusts in the wind warning for the Avalon Peninsula could be between 100 to 120 kilometers an hour. This picks up as the day goes on. And notice too some blizzard warnings, winter storm warnings as well, extending into Labrador. So it is very messy. Now we take you to this image right here. Just be careful where your cars are. This is the snowstorm highlights. Looking at February 2nd to the 3rd, Charlottetown, you have picked up 47 centimeters just between those 2 days. Generally, your average on February is 58 centimeters of snow, and in the last week, you've seen over 100 centimeters. So, I mean, it has been epic. Moving to Ontario, it was a snow day for you yesterday. Totals aren't as big as Atlantic Canada, but pretty impressive here for Toronto at 22 centimeters. Hamilton, 40 centimeters for you. Let's turn our attention right now to Kelly Noseworthy, who's outside in Southern Ontario. Kelly, tell us where you are. That's right. Thanks so much, Kelly. So here's what's happening. Ontario today, it is the calm before another storm. We've got those westerly winds giving you a little lake enhancement through Parry Sound towards Cottage Country. And then this evening, this little clipper comes on through. Wednesday morning, again, the commute is impacted from Toronto over towards the city of Ottawa. It's a general 5 to 10 centimeters. Stay with us. Our storm watch continues. Yes, cold wind chills and storm watch coverage does continue. Glad you could join us. I'm meteorologist Nicole Karkic. We do have this storm still moving through Atlantic Canada. Flash freeze warnings in place through the maritime provinces and more snow on the way tonight, especially in through Newfoundland. And cold, yes, very cold across the east towards the west. A little bit of light snow this morning in places like Calgary towards southern Saskatchewan. This afternoon, feeling closer to minus 19 in the city of Montreal. So bundle up this morning and into the afternoon. Now, with yesterday's big snowstorm in Ontario, had a few pictures on Twitter that I found. This is the snow drifts and all of the people measuring the snow out front their door and using the hashtag ONStorm. So that is a good way for us to see your photos, find them a lot easier. Hashtag ONStorm for the storm in Ontario, hashtag ATL storm for the one happening for you in the east. And this one, snow blowing and one of our reporters stuck in a parking lot because they hadn't cleared the snow away. Speaking of clearing the snow away, here's some tips from Mike Arsenault. So as we look at our temperatures, it is cold and dry in Halifax at minus 10 with some flash freeze on the roads. Montreal minus 12, Calgary minus 11 for you. Look at Vancouver, 8 degrees with some cloud cover this afternoon. Definitely clear your cars off the roads in St. John, New Brunswick with that state of emergency in place. They're trying to get all the roads plowed. There's at least 90 centimeters on the ground and yes, more to go. So there are blizzard warnings. We've got winter storm warnings in the red and the pink. Extreme cold warnings in place as well through northern New Brunswick up towards the Gaspé Peninsula, feeling closer to minus 35 to minus 40 this morning. And wind warnings for Cape Breton Island, Sydney in a rainfall warning. So not just rain, but a cool down coming for you as the day goes on. So there's flash freeze warnings as well across the Maritimes up towards Newfoundland too. So with the quick drop in temperatures, some black ice forming on the roads, do be careful. And for Newfoundland, as the day goes on, things are going to really ramp up for you. Wind warning in place, including Gander towards St. John's, gusts between 100 to 130 kilometers an hour. And then the winter storm warnings as well as blizzard warnings, which extend into Labrador as well. So do check for any closures across Newfoundland and Labrador. Looking at the radar here, that is warm enough that we're seeing rain. So Sydney sitting at about 9 degrees. There's the blue with the blizzard warnings across parts of New Brunswick. It is messy, really sloppy out there if you're going to be traveling. Nicole and Chris joining you. Look at our top stories. Impressive storm stats in the east to talk about. More snow is expected for Ontario. Yeah, that's right. And a state of emergency has been declared, Chris.
In St. John, New Brunswick. Let's run you through the watches and warnings because this is some important stuff to be sure. And it's just some incredible video that's been coming out of...
in St. John, New Brunswick for all of that snow. And you're saying that people might remember the storm of 1992 in Moncton.
No question about it. January 31st to February 2nd, 161 centimeters. So this, in the past week, we've had over 120 centimeters in Moncton, in St. John, and close to that in Charlottetown, waking up to 63 fresh centimeters of snow. It's a snow day, no surprise, just unbelievable. But that's not the only concern area.
Exactly, Chris. We've got mild air in place here. Sydney earlier this morning, 9 degrees. Temperatures plummeting very quickly.
Yes.
There are flash freeze warnings in place. Halifax up towards Sydney. Winter storm warnings, blizzard warnings in the pink and the red. Extreme cold in northern New Brunswick up towards the Gaspé Peninsula.
Yeah.
There's a flash freeze, which also extends, Chris, into Newfoundland.
Yeah, it's really occurring now in Cape Breton, Guysborough County, and it will occur this afternoon in western areas of Newfoundland. So Environment Canada issues a flash freeze when you have falling precipitation and the temperatures plummet rapidly below 0 degrees. So that means very icy conditions out there.
And a slew of warnings in Newfoundland, blizzard warnings, wind warnings in St. John's. Let's go to Nathan Coleman right now. He's joining us in St. John, New Brunswick, where that state of emergency has been declared. How is it in the city?
Story, Nicole, is where do you put all the snow? And it's really been coming down lately, hasn't it?
That's right. Just between February 2nd to 3rd, Charlottetown, 60 centimeters. Your average is 58. Now, speaking of snow, big one hit southern Ontario. Hamilton. Look at that, 40 centimeters of snow.
So you had 20 to 40 centimeters in southern and southwestern Ontario. It's cold this morning. Temperatures, I mean, but not a lot of precipitation today. No. This next little clipper will just scoot quickly overnight tonight into tomorrow.
That's right. So tomorrow morning's commute a little bit messy again, but a general 5 to 10 centimeters, probably on the lower end for Toronto. This afternoon, Toronto coming in at -6. Look at Halifax, -10. And a mild air in place this afternoon for Newfoundland for St. John's, but it'll cool right down into tomorrow. Calgary, -11. How about we escape these dismal temperatures and go to Nassau? It's getting up to 28 degrees on Wednesday. There will be some cloud cover, but if you're headed towards Freeport, also some cloud cover, getting up to 27 degrees. Georgetown has lots of sunshine on Wednesday, 25 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. Enjoy. That's right. Thanks so much, Nathan, joining us in Moncton, New Brunswick. I'm meteorologist Nicole Karkic, and taking a look at our warnings, you can see here blizzard warnings in the darker red, the pink. Winter storm warnings, extreme cold in northern New Brunswick up towards the Gaspé Peninsula, wind warnings for Cape Breton Island, and Sydney in a rainfall warning. Now, we've got very mild temperatures moving in place through the Maritimes and Newfoundland for today. And then right behind it, a big drop in temperatures, which will happen today across the Maritimes and into tomorrow for Newfoundland. So these are flash freeze warnings. It is going to be very rough on the roads as temperatures plummet 10 degrees within the span of only a couple of hours. Taking a look at Newfoundland, we do have some wind warnings in place for St. John's to Gander, 100 to 130 kilometers an hour, plus storm surge could be an issue for places like Burgeo and the Burin Peninsula. Let's move next to Ontario, where it was tricky driving yesterday. It was a snow day for many across southern Ontario. Things back up and running to normal today. Kelly Noseworthy is joining us in Hamilton, where the piles of snow are huge.
Nicole, for now, back to you.
Thanks, Kelly. And temperature-wise, a little bit warmer than yesterday. Toronto will be -6, Ottawa -9. We will see some sunshine. Heading to northern Ontario, sunshine as well on deck. Thunder Bay, you're going to be -13, feeling closer to -19. But how about those totals? Hamilton, 40 centimeters for you yesterday. Sunday into Monday, rather. Toronto, 22 centimeters of snow. And there's more snow for tomorrow morning's commute in southern Ontario. So as we look at our temperatures, it is cold and dry in Halifax at -10 with some flash freeze on the roads. Montreal -12. Calgary -11 for you. Look at Vancouver, 8 degrees with some cloud cover this afternoon. Nicole and Chris with you. Our top stories, impressive stats in the east. More snow expected for Ontario. That's right. And a state of emergency has been declared for St. John, New Brunswick. Stay off the streets. They need to plow them.
All right. This fresh off the printer there, Nicole. Yes. And the blizzard warnings are now finito in New Brunswick, thankfully. Right. And we'll see that happen in PEI shortly enough as well, though it's still very windy even as the snow tapers off. Lots and lots of blowing and drifting.
Yes. And the green, that's the rain. Mild enough. Sydney this morning sitting around 9 degrees. You're going to drop temperatures very rapidly through the day, so flash freeze warnings are in place. Winter storm, that should be out, the blizzard warning right there. You can see here Grand Etang in the wind warning for this afternoon, and the flash freeze warnings, Chris, extend even into Newfoundland for the late morning.
That's right. Flash freeze, that means precipitation falling as rain, and the temperatures go from above zero to below zero and produces some very icy conditions. So we're seeing that in eastern Nova Scotia, Cape Breton, and it will follow suit in central and western Newfoundland through the course of the day.
All right, and for Newfoundland, some warnings as well. Wind warnings, Burgeo, Wreckhouse, St. John's, up to 130 kilometers an hour on the high end. The winter storm warnings, there's lots of school closures already in the east, so do check in with your school. Some banks opening later, just municipal buildings as well, so a lot is shutting down. Let's check in with Nathan Coleman right now, who's in Moncton, New Brunswick. And Nathan, Chris wants to know, and I want to know too, are people reminiscing of the storm of 1992 in Moncton?
Going to be some wanted signs of us on the telephone posts across Atlantic Canada because we got another storm coming Thursday and Friday. And
so far, just between February 2nd to 3rd, just those 2 days, Charlottetown 60 centimeters, your average is 58, so blowing some numbers out of the water. This could be a historic, epic year. Let's turn our attention to Ontario, where it's cleanup mode in southern Ontario after yesterday's storm, and Kelly Noseworthy joins us in Hamilton. That's right. So we're going to pile more on top of this. Hamilton, 40 centimeters, Chris.
Yeah, so widespread 20 to 35, locally more than that. Another northern Ontario cold, although we have some light snow falling in the northeast today. And then another little clipper will scoot across. This is not going to be an epic amount. It's much smaller than the last storm.
That's right. But still during the morning commute tomorrow with a general 5 to 10, a little bit of lake enhancement coming up towards cottage country tomorrow morning. That's right. Thanks so much, Nathan. So really bad travel conditions out there. A few callers to our storm line in Halifax said that the roads, the streets are completely iced over because of that flash freeze. The temperatures just cool down so rapidly after a warm up. There still are blizzard warnings in place for Charlottetown. Extreme cold warnings in northern New Brunswick towards the Gaspé Peninsula, feeling closer to the minus 30s this morning. And for Newfoundland, Burgio's in a rainfall warning. We've got central parts of the island in a winter storm warning. On top of that, let's add the flash freeze for later on this afternoon. So tonight, traveling in Newfoundland, that's when it'll start to ice over. Not to mention the strong winds, especially along the shorelines. Storm surge an issue. Burgio over towards the western shores of Newfoundland. It is messy, nasty out there. So if you can, stay home. Let's check in now with Kelly Noseworthy, who's in Hamilton, where yesterday was a snow day. But for this morning, things are backing up and running back to normal. That's right. More snow coming tonight into tomorrow morning across southern Ontario, including Windsor up towards the greater Toronto region. This round will be less than the last one, but it'll come again during a crucial time, the morning commute. For this afternoon, minus 6 in Toronto, minus 9 in Ottawa. You'll see that snow later on this overnight in Ottawa, too, and temperatures in the north. Third storm of the last week for Atlantic Canada, so we've got impressive stats to share with you. More snow expected for Ontario and a state of emergency declared. Chris and Nicole with you today.
66 centimeters is what we're up to in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island.
Some school closures across the maritime provinces, some buildings closed, government buildings, municipal buildings. Snowstorm highlights, Charlottetown, just between February 2nd and 3rd, 60 centimeters. Here's your average for February, 58 centimeters, and there's more snow to go right now in general. Here's the radar, Chris, with the snow clearing out of New Brunswick, but quite a story here in the Maritimes.
Yeah, Nova Scotia flash freeze. It was warm. Remember how much it warmed up last night? We're in Sydney this morning. Heavy rain. Well, now temperatures have either already done this or they're about to fall rapidly below zero, and that's turning everything into the ice rink. Took a caller from Mooseland, Nova Scotia. It's right about here east of Halifax, and this gentleman, he was blowing the snow last night, and then it started to rain. Stop that little cutie pie.
No, they were having a lot of fun. Sunday into Monday, 40 centimeters in Hamilton. And Chris, we've got snow starting again tonight.
Yeah, a little icy out there on the roadways, and because it's very cold. And then this could be another 5, locally 10 centimeters into tomorrow, perhaps beginning in Windsor through the overnight hours. As we continue westwards, though, Nicole, we're talking about the cold temperatures in the west, although in Winnipeg, minus 15 is really not all that far from normal. There's a little clipper scooting across the southern prairies. It should miss Winnipeg, but it's brought a little dusting in places like Regina, Moose Jaw, and Medicine Hat.
Yes, and this morning, if you're traveling between Red Deer and Edmonton along the QE2, there is a little bit of light snow, not too terrible. And then look at this, a parade of systems moving through BC.
The moisture coming all the way up from the Hawaiian Islands, so this is likely to be a pineapple express. That means lots of rain, lots of wind for the coast, rising freezing levels, and some of that moisture is going to spill east of the Rockies. So we're going to see a series of little storms move across the prairies, each one dumping between 2 and 5 and perhaps 5 to 10 centimeters of snow.
Right, so that comes Friday for southern Saskatchewan and Manitoba. This morning, though, no snow in Winnipeg, minus 21. Saskatoon is minus 24. And let's take you to this map right here this morning in Abbotsford. A light rain, 6 degrees. Calgary, minus 17 with snow. Stay with us. Storm Watch continues. All right, thanks, Kelly. Chris joining us as well.
I work here too, Kelly.
All right, impressive storm stats in the east to share. More snow expected for Ontario, and a state of emergency has been declared for St. John, New Brunswick. Get your cars off the road. They need to clean all of the snow.
And Prince Edward Island as well. RCMP just tweeted this out. They're not out on the roads, so they're not out on the roads.
Yes, and a few power outages specifically on the eastern side of Moncton at this point. A lot of areas in the dark. Storm highlights so far: February 2nd to 3rd, Charlottetown 63 centimeters of snow. Here's your average for February. You've already blown that out of the water, and there is much more to go. Looking at the radar, Chris, the rain tapering off across Cape Breton Island. So is the snow, too, but still we've got the blizzard-like conditions in PEI.
Want to talk to you something here. Halifax right now, -11, that's downtown, wind chill of -21. Sydney, up until 45 minutes ago, was +8, +9. Now you're 1 degree, your wind has flipped around, and your temperatures are just going to keep going sub-zero. So all that rain is going to freeze. We have a flash freeze warning.
That's
and
right.
We've seen that happen from Halifax and all points eastwards this morning.
And it will domino effect into Newfoundland.
Yes.
These are the warnings still in place that extreme cold as well to add insult to injury. And we've got Burgeo and a rainfall warning. So as that system makes its way through, winds are picking up, storm surge an issue through the shores of Newfoundland. And then there's the areas in the flash freeze for later today.
Stephenville's had 15 centimeters of snow. It's raining now. It's all slush. It's all going to freeze later today. And these could be potentially hurricane force gusts across Newfoundland today.
Yeah, that's right. Over 100 kilometers an hour, maybe 130 at times in places like St. John's. Look
To the drivers of the big rigs, please, if you can, clean off the top of your trailers because you leave a blizzard in your wake. You know that's
true.
All right. So this is not for today. This is for the next system coming in overnight tonight into tomorrow.
That's right. So likely on the low end for Toronto up towards Ottawa, but during, again, a crucial time, the morning commute. Looking at the radar, just along the 400 north of Barrie, you will see a little bit of snow just with some enhancement in the westerly winds near Parry Sound, for example. There's that system tonight. Winds are first, then Toronto into tomorrow morning.
This is a clipper, not a crusher, by the way. And then we take a look towards Winnipeg, -15 is the forecast high today, which isn't too far from seasonal.
No, and a parade of systems coming through BC this week. Lots of rain and snow in higher elevations. This afternoon, Toronto coming in at -6. Look at Halifax, -10. And mild air in place this afternoon for Newfoundland for St. John's, but it'll cool right down into tomorrow. Calgary, -11. How about we escape these dismal temperatures and go to Nassau? It's getting up to 28 degrees on Wednesday. There will be some cloud cover, but if you're headed towards Freeport, also some cloud cover, getting up to 27 degrees. Georgetown has lots of sunshine on Wednesday, 25 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. Enjoy. So as we look at our temperatures, it is cold and dry in Halifax at -10 with some flash freeze on the roads. Montreal, -12. Calgary, -11 for you. Look at Vancouver, 8 degrees with some cloud cover this afternoon. This afternoon, Toronto coming in at -6. Look at Halifax, -10. And mild air in place this afternoon for Newfoundland for St. John's, but it'll cool right down into tomorrow. Calgary, -11. How about we escape these dismal temperatures and go to Nassau? It's getting up to 28 degrees on Wednesday. There will be some cloud cover, but if you're headed towards Freeport, also some cloud cover, getting up to 27 degrees. Georgetown has lots of sunshine on Wednesday, 25 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. Enjoy.